Welcome back, Bama Breaker. We're back for another session, and for today I want to talk to you guys about a story time, something that happened about a week and a half ago that's funny slash like what the fuck, like, excuse my language, but like it's funny, but at the same time it's like it could go both ways if you take it both ways. But it starts off on Saturday, like 2 weeks ago, Saturday, and I have to go to work. So I end up going to work, and everybody know on Saturdays is game days for Alabama, and game days are the biggest days ever for everyone. So they block off every road known to man. Like, I mean, like, they block everything. Like, you have to pay to park and everything. As of me, I'm an employee that works on a strip, like across the street from the game. So I'm thinking, I'm finna go park and go to work. Guess again. So get to work. Apparently what Tuscaloosa does, since they block off everything, they took the employee parking. I think y'all seen that video when I was saying how I received those 2 tickets because I didn't park in the gravel behind Publix and stuff like that. Yeah. Apparently they took that and they blocked it off, using it for parking. You had to pay $20 to park. And I'm like, I'm not gonna pay $20 to go to work. Like, that just doesn't make sense. Why pay to go get paid? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So I pull up on the guy who's like sitting there. Oh, look at Matt. I pull up on the guy that's sitting there, and he's like, what do you need? And I'm like, I'm trying to park to get to work. Like, I work at Moe's. And he was like, oh, do you have your employee parking pass? And I'm like, yeah, it's right here. So I show him, and he's like, oh, that's the parking pass for Sunday through Friday. You need a specific one for Saturdays. And I'm like, okay, bet, where do I get it from? And he was like, each store receives 2 in the area. And I'm like, Moe's alone, we have about 12 people who drive to work. So I know Publix, that's across the street from us, has a good 80 people who drive to work. So I'm like, what is 2 parking passes gonna do for anybody? Like, that doesn't make sense. And something that I don't understand with Moe's is they use one of the parking passes for our catering van. The catering van's already in the parking lot, so they can't remove it or nothing because it was already there before they start putting up like the blockage and all that the night before. So I'm trying to figure out, why are you using the parking pass for a car that's already in there? Like, it doesn't make sense. So me and the guy go back and forth for a little bit. I was like, you let me park here last week on game day. What's the difference from last week and this week? So he was like, no, I can't let you this week and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, bet. So I called my manager, LaCrystal. LaCrystal is my head manager. Think you seen her in one of my videos when I walked into Moe's, and she was like, oh, I didn't know you was coming in to work today. So I called her, and she's like, you already know you had to be dropped off on game days and stuff like that. I'm like, well, I'm sorry. I'm an out-of-state student. I don't have nobody to drop me off other than Uber and Lyft. And that brings me back to the point is, I shouldn't have to pay to come to work. Like, that doesn't make sense. But I'm like, I'm an out-of-state student. I don't have nobody to drop me off, and I'm not gonna let nobody borrow my car. Like, that's out of the option. I'm not gonna let nobody like have my car like for the day while I go to work. No. So we finally come up to an agreement. She tells me to go to the other Moe's on McFarland, which is like probably like 20-25 minutes away from where my Moe's is. And she was like, Ray, our head manager over like all the Moe's in the area, would come pick me up in the Moe's van, in the Moe's catering van. I'm like, okay, bet. I was supposed to clock in at 4. I get to the other Moe's at 4. So I'm like, all right, I know I'm not finna clock in on time. I'm thinking he's finna come in like the next like 15-20 minutes to come get me. Taryn, my friend who works with me, is supposed to come in at 5. She drives too. So she ended up getting there. So when she got there, I'm like, wait, if she's here, it's like 5 o'clock. It's been like an hour and everything like that. So after Taryn gets there, we sit there for another hour and a half. So by the time they actually came to pick us up in the Moe's van, it was like probably like 6:30 going on 7 o'clock. I get off at 10, Taryn gets off at 9. So by the time we actually got the Mo's, we only had like 3 hours to work. I'm like, it took y'all 2 hours to come get me? You're good. It took y'all 2 going on 3 hours to come pick me up, saying it was busy, they needed help. Your help was sitting at the other Mo's because y'all sent us to the other Mo's. Like, if you needed help, why didn't y'all stop for that at least 15 minutes to come pick us up to go get help? But y'all struggled for like 2 to 3 hours because y'all down 2 or 3 people because y'all never came to pick them up. So you see the dilemma in that situation? After all that, me and Taryn, we finally get picked up after 2 or 3 hours into our shift. And if you work and pay bills, you know that 2 or 3 hours count for a lot. Like that 2 or 3 hours can cause you not to go out that night with your friends. That 2 or 3 hours could cause you not to pay rent that month. So like, we were already kind of upset in that situation about that. So we finally get to our Mo's to start working and stuff. We finally work our last 2 to 3 hours of our shift and everything like that. You're good. So finally, it's time for us to leave. So we thinking Ray finna take us back. Like, Ray finna take us back in our catering vans to the other Mo's so we can get our car. Thought again. Ray was like, I'm going home. So we like, who's taking us back to get our car? Like, y'all can't pick us up. What y'all mean y'all not finna drop us off? Miss LaCrystal, she's in the background talking about, oh, see if so-and-so can probably take y'all to get y'all car. No. Like, I'm like, if he can't pick us up, why can't he drop us off? Like, that's the common sense. Like, if my sister tells me, let's go to a party and she comes to pick me up, I suspect my sister to drop me back off. Not one of her friends, not one of her friends that was already at the party. I suspect my sister to drop me back off. Like, you the one who picked me up. What's so important that you can't drop me back off? Like, you didn't have no problem coming to pick me up. Like, now you got a problem dropping me back off? Like, no. So me and Taryn was like, oh, for real? Forget this. So Taryn calls her brother, and her brother gets there in like 45 minutes. That was about the time I got off at 10. He got there like at 10:05. I got off at 10. As we're walking out, Miss LaCrystal hits me with the, oh, Kenny, I might have to go take you to get your car after I get off. You want me to wait for you to get off, wait for your sister to come pick you up because you got dropped off, for her to take you to get your car back at your house, for you to come back to pick me up to go get my car? Oh, nah. So I hopped in the car with Taryn, her brother, that I knew was a for sure ride, for sure immediate ride. So I'm like, I'm not finna deal with this. So getting back to my car and everything, my friend Eric and DJ hits me up, was like, they want to chill. So I'm like, all right, bet. We can all go walking up and down the strip. And Eric was like, all right, bet. We can go in your car or my car. And I was like, we can go in my car since I have 3 rows, but I'm only letting up 2. So I can only fit 4 people because I don't let up my 3rd row because I don't like people. So I only fit 4 people in my car. Me, the driver, my passenger, and 2 seats behind us. So at that point, 3 of us is already in the car. As we're driving up and down the strip, they got every road known to man blocked off. So we have to do detours, go down back roads and all that to get to like just the strip. You guys seen the strip. So we're like driving, me and Eric's actually driving up the strip to find DJ. We see her coming up, walking up the street as we're coming down. So we yell out the window, DJ, get in the car, hop in, hop in. As DJ's running to get into the car, Hunter jumps in the car on the other side. We all looking back like, where did you come from? So he's stupid drunk. Apparently him and his cousins that came up to watch the game from Florida went to the game and got stupid drunk. And since after they're all 21 and older, they all went into one of the clubs that you got to be 21 to get into. Hunter just turned 19 in like February. So he's not old enough to get into the club. So they just left my boy walking up and down the strip. And at the same time, me, Eric, and DJ was like kind of iffy about it because we didn't want to have to deal with Hunter's drunkenness. Like, we don't want to have to like watch over nobody while they're drunk. We all came to the strip to chill, try to mingle and all that. Like, we're not trying to like watch over nobody who's intoxicated. Like, cause Hunter was stupid drunk.
I mean, like, he was this drunk.
So following that situation, Hunter's stupid drunk. So he's yelling out to girls, "Oh, you beautiful on the skeleton, your body looking right," in front of her boyfriend or her brother or dad, whoever the person was that was with them. But he was just yelling it out to people. So we were like, bro, we can't have Hunter on the strip because don't feel like boxing a nigga tonight. Like, we just all came to chill, not fight. So taking Hunter back to my house, I had to get gas. He's all outside the window yelling like, "Oh, there go 12, there go the police. Hey, shawty, you fine." Police looking at him at the red light like you so drunk. You hanging out the window like this. Talking about, "There go the police," and try to hide in my back seat. Police looking at him and just started laughing like he know he's stupid drunk. So we get to 7-Eleven because I needed gas. Get to 7-Eleven. Hunter's all in the store, like knocking stuff over, being loud. I'm like, "Hunter, stop, like go to the car." For some reason, he thought it was bold and was like, excuse my language, but he was like, "Oh, shut your bitch ass up." I was like, "What did you say?" And it was funny because he said it again. He was like, "Shut your bitch ass up." And I was like, "Eric, take my boy to the car because I'm finna give him the meanest left in his life. I'm finna like drop him." He was like, "You can't knock out a drunk person. Can't knock out a drunk person." I was like, "Eric, take him to the car. Take him to the car." The lady at the register was like, "You look like you having like the worst day ever." I was like, "You don't understand. Oh my God." So after I pay for my gas, I'm walking out to like pump my gas. I hear Hunter in the parking lot yelling, "Why are you stealing Kenny's gas? That's not your gas. Don't make me get out the car." I'm looking around like, who is he talking to? Because I'm at pump 27. The nearest person next to us is at pump 17. I'm like, who is he talking to? The guy at pump 17 is laughing because he knows Hunter's drunk. Like, Hunter was just doing the most. Like, he was doing the most. And I'm like, bruh, chill. But after that, we managed to get back to my house. And Hunter, he ended up crashing on my floor. Like, he laid on my floor and he died right there. Like, he died. And he didn't move until the next morning when he woke me up. But to this point, we all use it as a joke now because when we talk about it, Hunter gets so butthurt. Like, he gets so hurt because he was like, he always be like, "Oh, that's not me. That's not me when I drink. I need to stop drinking rum." And we always like, "Hunter, stop blaming it on rum. You just don't know how to drink responsibly." And he was like, "No, it's the rum. I need to stick to tequila." And I'm like, "It's not the tequila. It's alcohol in general. Like, you need to stop." And so after that, we just use it as a joke now. Like, so when we bring it up, like, for instance, like, Hunter was trying to talk to one girl, and she was, like, trying to get to know him. And she was like, "Oh, do you drink? Because me and my friends like to drink and stuff." And he was like, "Yeah, I like to drink and stuff." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, remember when you got drunk that night?" He was like, "Kenny, shut up. Shut up." And she was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Remember when you was hanging out my car in front of the police?" So, yeah, we use it like that as a joke. And Hunter gets so butthurt. So you're going to hear me, like, explain that joke a couple of times throughout, like, these next videos. And you're going to see Hunter get so butthurt. But other than that, keep subscribing to my channel. Keep listening to my stuff. Like, I'm sorry I haven't posted nothing in like 2 weeks, going on 3 weeks. I just been really busy. But hit the subscribe button. I actually got a little bit more subscribers ever since I was gone. So just keep hitting my like button. Just keep viewing. And I got my sister. She's on her way with her new video. So I'm finna like try to shout her out, stuff like that too. So keep watching.